Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and our elders of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth to rule well. All right, I'm going to be going into, the book of James, mainly, the first chapter, because it covers a couple things, about, continuing in the faith. All right. And it talks about the rich men, but, it's not necessarily saying, all rich people are condemned to death, because that word rich there really means wealthy. All right. You're going to have some brothers that are wealthy, but they're still going to be in the faith and they're still going to be saved, So let me start off at James 1:1. It says, James, a servant of the Most High and of the Lord, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. All right, so James was a servant to Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. It says, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. And Elder Apostle Tahar made a video yesterday, which was the December 22nd. He made a video yesterday talking about, all right, that the only people that can be saved are the Israelites, man, because they're the only ones that are scattered abroad. All right, well, you have all nations that can be scattered abroad, but the only ones that Scripture really talks about being scattered abroad and being saved from every other nation is the Israelites. Acts chapter 2 talks about it. The book of Revelation, I want to say chapter 5, might have been chapter 4, but they talk about it, talk about the kingdom that is of heaven, that is made up of priests and holy people. And you read that in Exodus 19 and verse 6, that the holy people and the priests, the priesthood is going to be a kingdom of priests, and it's going to be all Israelites. So it's clearly talking to Israelites. The apostles, the ones that they were going after were the Israelites, and Apostle Paul, the Gentiles that he was going after were actually Israelites that were considered heathen, because of they weren't following the ways of the Most High, So James, all right, the Apostle James says, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greetings. All right, he wasn't talking to any other nation but the nation of Israel. You see, it says, my brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations. Because sometimes you're going to be going through certain things, man. Whether it be, spiritually or carnally, or, both of them. The Most High is going to be, increasing you little by little by certain things that he puts in front of you. It's like levels in a video game. When you start off with your character and he's level 1, you can't fight off, level 20 or level 50, bad guys or, enemies or whatever the case may be. You can't fight them off. You're too weak. So what do? You fight off level 1s and 2s. All right. And then when you get a level 2, you fight off level 2s and 3s, maybe 4s, so on and so forth. And that's the Most High perfecting you in the spot that you're in, in the lot that you were given. All right. So let me read that part again. It says James 1:2. It says, my brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations. All right. So that's saying, there's going to be different kinds of temptations that are going to come up to you, man. Some might be, more simpler than others. Some you might be able to reject right away, and some of them, some of those temptations, you might fall once or twice, You know, like scripture say, a wise man falleth 7 times and riseth up again. You know, a righteous man. All right. So you might fall one time for that temptation. Then next time it comes along, you're like, hey, man, I've been here before. You know, so you know what's up. So it says, knowing this, verse 3, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. All right. And that's what I wanted to get into, that word patience. All right. Because it doesn't mean, you know, you just sit back like a couch potato and not do anything at all. You know, you have to be, you know, meditating upon the scriptures, upon Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, upon the return of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you know, upon the destruction and everything, man. You know, it says, but let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. All right, so let's look up that word patience, because it doesn't mean just sit there and wait. All right. Patience, hupomona, steadfastness, constancy. All right, endurance. All right, when you go running, you know, some people can only run for 15. Some people can run for 20. You know, 20 minutes. Some people can run a mile in 5 minutes. Some people in 6, you know. Some people may run that mile in 20 minutes. Some people may run it in an hour, you know. Doesn't matter how long you run that mile as long as you finish, man. And that's how this word, this truth is, you know. One, it doesn't matter, you know, how long it took you to reach the end, you know. It doesn't matter, you know, in a different sense, how long you've been in the truth, because that also, it does matter, you know, because the Most High placed you early for a reason, you know, for a point of leadership, or, you know, whatever he may set up, you know. But at the end, the reward is the same. You finish the mile. You see? At the end, you finish the mile. There's also a parable about that, you know. So constancy, let's look up that word. The quality of being faithful and dependable. You see, when you're faithful and you're dependable, all right, that's something that the Most High is looking for in men. All right, because he's dealing with men. He's not dealing with women. You know, so constancy means, you know, constant, to be constant, you know, continuance. You see, steadfastness, endurance. All right. To be patiently waiting for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai does not mean just sitting there and wait. All right. Sitting there on this Bible, sitting there on this truth. You see, it says in the New Testament, the characteristic of a man who is not swerving, or who's not swerved from his deliberate purpose and his loyalty to faith and piety by even the greatest trials and sufferings. You see, so you have to go through certain things, man. You know, like Elder Apostle Tahar had made a video. Some people, you know, speak on scriptures. Some brothers speak on scriptures. Some by experience, all right. Some by knowledge of the word, and some by experience and knowledge of the word, you know. And you do have brothers out there that have been through some tough shit, man. You know, it says patiently and steadfastly. All right. A patient, steadfast, waiting for, a patient, enduring. All right. A patient, enduring. You see, when you endure through something, it doesn't mean you give out. You see, when you endure through something, that means you keep going, continuing or long lasting. You see that? So you have to last in this word, man. You have to last in this truth. You know, it's not just come into this truth. You know, you're an Israelite. All right. You don't make videos. You don't try to make videos. You don't go out. You don't try to go out. You know, you just sit there at home and you read. Or sometimes you don't even read, man. You know, and you just feel like you know everything, but you don't want to go out and teach. You know everything, but you don't feel like prophesying. All right. You don't feel like giving double honors to the ones that taught you. You know, that's wickedness, man. That's not enduring. You know, that's sleeping on the talent, man. And that talent being this word, you know, when the Most High, when Yahweh Hashem Yahushua comes back, and you're sleeping on this talent, on this truth, on this word, all right, you're going to be found wicked. As scriptures say, sustaining, perseverance, all right, to preserve, when you preserve something in a fridge, all right, when you preserve something in a fridge, preserve, perseverance, when you preserve something, not preserve, but when you preserve something, all right, it stays intact, all right, preserved, and that's what that word perseverance reminds me of. When you endure, you stay strong, you continue, all right. Let's see if this, perseverance, man, I don't know why it's doing that. Persistence in doing something despite difficulty, all right. So your persistence in doing something, man, going out, making videos, all right, you're persistent in doing something even if it's difficult. Like I said, sometimes you may fall and you might do certain things, all right, but you have to keep the faith and continue to do it and pay back what you owe, spiritually speaking. It says, or delay in achieving success. You see? It says, I said on that, so that word patience, all right, doesn't mean just sit there and wait, all right. It means you have to continue to do work your faith. And in James, all right, the book of James chapter 2, it talks about that. It talks about having your faith perfected. All right, you might have faith, but your faith is not perfected unless you do works. You see? So now going into when it's showed, this is Luke chapter 8, and Lord willing, I'll get into the rich man, all right, because it also talks about the rich in James chapter 1, but also it's a perseverance of Lazarus, in Luke 16. But this is Luke 8 and 15. But that one good ground are they, all right? And that's the parable talking about the I believe it's 4 different grounds that it covers. The sand, the rock, the thorns, and then the good ground. It says, but that on the good ground are they, which in an honest and good heart, having heard the word, keep it and bring forth fruit with patience, all right, with endurance, all right. That means you keep going. Your faith, with your faith, and you keep going in this truth, you keep working, it brings forth fruit. You see? If you're in this truth and say there's 4 years left in this earth, all right, and you only work for 1 year, you took 3 years off, guess what? It didn't bring forth fruit. All right? You stopped growing. You became stagnant. You see? So you have to bring forth good fruit with patience, man, with your continuance in this truth. All right? And that's the elect. The good ground represents the elect. All right? The other ground represents, people that knew they were Israelites and they fell out because they got carried by, ways of this world. Some people didn't even believe they were Israelites, and you had some people that as soon as they heard it, they despised the truth. You see? But the good ground represents the elect, the ones that hear it and run with it. It says, Luke 21 and 19, in your patience possess ye your souls, all right? Your life. You see? In the patience and your work and this truth in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you possess your souls, man. You gain life, like Yahushai said. All right? You're gaining life when you follow him. Romans 2 and 7, to them who by patient continuance You see that? Who by patient continuance in well-doing seek for glory and honor and immortality, eternal life. All right. So if you're seeking in patience, all right, that's what you're seeking for. You're seeking for the glory that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is going to bring, for the honor that you're going to receive by Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right. For the honor of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and for the immortality, for eternal life. That's what you're looking for, man. Those are the things that we're fighting for. You know, the whole role. Romans 5:3, and not only so, but we glory in tribulation also. All right. Be not troubled when you go through certain things, man. You know, knowing that tribulation worketh patience. You see? So certain tribulation works your works, man. You know? That's what's turning those gears inside that engine. You see? And patience, experience. And that's something that people don't have. You know, you have people that come into this truth right away, think that they're masters, and you know, start calling themselves elders, start calling themselves, you know, apostles and this and that. All right, when they don't even have the experience, man. You know, you have what camp was that? Yahushai. I forgot what it's called, but it's over there in Dallas, I believe. And Vocab Malone went up to him and he asked him, all right, why did you know, that woman that Yahushai spoke to, why did he call her a dog? All right, but yet he still blessed her. Why did he help her out if she, you know, he called her a dog? And that man from Yahushai brothers in Yahushai, something like that, you know, he said, well, because she knew her place. You know, when that's not true. It's because she was an Israelite. You know, Yahushai was just testing her, man. And her faith came through and it showed forth her works. All right. And her faith was perfected by her works, by what she said, you know, because she was like, you know, even the dogs lick the crumbs from off the table. And that's what she was asking for, just a little bit of crumbs. And Yahushai said, you know, by what you said, you know, you're justified. So he helped her, you see? So, and by patience, by continuance of the faith, all right, experience. You know, you have brothers that have been in this truth for 10 years, and they're over brothers that have been in this truth for 1 year. But then those brothers that have been in this truth for 10 years are under, you know, elders and the apostles. You see, because there's a rank system. All right, a spiritual rank system. Like Proverbs says, wisdom is the gray hairs of men. All right, and that's the experience, man. You gain wisdom through experience. All right, through your patience. It says, and experience hope. All right, the hope you have is through the experience that you gain, man. You know, this is Romans 8:25. But if we hope for that we see not, all right, so if we hope for those things that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it. All right, with patience, with works, you see, continuing in the faith. Romans 15:4, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope. You see, so the experience is all in the scriptures, man. Like I mentioned earlier, what Elder Tahar had said. Verse 5, now the Most High Yahweh of patience, all right, the Most High power of patience, the God of patience and consolation, grant you to be like-minded one toward another, according to Mashiach Yahushai. You see? So you have to have patience in this truth, man. Yes, we want everything to happen already, all right, and Lord willing, it will happen soon, you know, but you have to continue to labor in this truth, even if it doesn't happen for another 2 years. You know, we have to continuously labor in this truth, you know, and I think I'm going to do 2 parts to it. You know, I'm on a limited time. All right. So that was, you know, talking mostly about patience. All right. The patience of of this truth, man. So, you know what? Let me end it with James 2 and I believe it was 16. Yeah, let me start with 16. It says, and one of you say unto them, depart in peace, be ye warmed and filled, notwithstanding ye give him not those things which are needful to the body, what doth it profit? You know, so if you tell somebody, all right, this is literal and also spiritual, you know, you can't tell somebody that's out in the freezing cold, you know, you can't tell a brother that's been freezing up, you can't tell him like, man, I hope the Most High blesses you with clothing, all right, with warm clothing, when you have that warm clothing that you could be giving them, you know, in the same sense, you know, spiritually speaking, you can't continue in this truth, all right? You can't continue and you can't be saved if you don't have those works, man. If you don't have that clothing of light, like it says in the book of Romans, you know? That clothing of light is what makes you, all right, warm, is what makes you light. You see? Hope I'm coming across clear. Verse 17, even so faith, yeah, it explains it right here. Even so faith, if it hath not works, is dead, being alone. You see? So if you're faithful and you don't have any works, it's dead, man. You know? So that's what perfects your faith. This patience, the continuance you have in this truth. You know? So we have to keep pushing. So with that, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Lord willing, this was edifying. Shalom to the elders, to the brothers. Shalom.